Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. It's January 1st. 2021 has begun, 2020 has ended, thank God. And we're here to start a new year. So I thought it would be fun to sit down and go through some of my goals for this year. I don't really believe in resolutions, I believe in goals. There's that saying, a goal without a plan is a wish. So I have spent a lot of time the last week or so thinking about my goals for this year and planning how I want to achieve them. And I wanted to tell you guys about that today. Sean's sister got me this fantastic planner for Christmas, and I have been using it to write down a lot of my goals and intentions and self-care routines and things for the coming year. So that's what I have in front of me that I'm gonna read from. So I sort of broke down my goals into categories. So different things from my personal life, my financial goals, my career, professional goals, my goals for my relationship, all these different sort of categories. So I find it really helpful to think in those terms when making goals of all the different areas of your life and things you can improve. One thing I've been discussing a lot with my therapist is that it can be dangerous to try to pursue too many things at once because you don't want to overwhelm yourself and feel like you're failing because you're not hitting all those goals. So I also try to toe the line between like dreaming big and planning big for myself, but also being realistic and not overwhelming myself with a bunch of stuff that I feel pressured to do that I can't accomplish in a year. So that's, those are just some things that I keep in my mind as I'm writing down these goals and thinking about how I want to accomplish them. So my first category of goals is things for my job and career. So I'm kind of at a weird in-between stage in terms of a career. I have a degree in liberal arts, which I love. I'm happy that I did it, but it's not one of those degrees that's really easy to track yourself like straight into a particular job from that. So I graduated college a year and a half ago, and I'm still trying to figure out like what a career is for me. So one thing that I have in my mind, probably not this year, but in the coming few years, is that I might want to return to school and do an MFA in directing theater. That is something I've always wanted to do my whole life. So that is like more of a long-term goal that I just keep in my head. But in the meantime, I've been doing a lot of work as a freelancer for small businesses. So I create websites, I help them manage their Shopify, manage their Instagram, do all sorts of like little odd tasks for small businesses. And I really enjoy doing that. So I have one project that I'm working on now, and I have some leads for additional projects I want to pursue. So as soon as Monday hits and everyone's back to work and back to life after the holidays, I'm going to start reaching out to some people that I think might want to work with me to market myself and see if they want to take me on as a freelancer, and I can take them on as a client. So that is one of my big goals this year, is to really pursue freelance and do that in a meaningful way and in a financially sustainable way. I will go back and get a regular job if I need to, but working for myself is something I'm really enjoying so far and something I want to continue doing, which is sort of a segue into one of my other goals, which is to really continue with my YouTube channel and try to grow my channel and commit to creating content for it. So my goal is to make one video a week for all of 2021. My videos have been a little bit sporadic. Obviously, Vlogmas was kind of a failure. Like, I didn't follow through with Vlogmas. I just got too busy doing my freelance projects and the holidays, and my sister got married, and all these things were going on. So I wasn't able to complete Vlogmas. But this year, I really want to commit to doing one video a week. I think that should be manageable, and really growing my channel and taking time to work on this channel. Because I love doing it. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I think it would be cool if it could grow into something that more people see and watch, and something that I get better at doing. My second category for goals that I'm working on is mental health. So this year, in 2020, I went back to therapy. I've been in and out of therapy at different times throughout my life, and honestly never really got a lot out of it. I don't think I was working with the right therapist. I don't think I was really in a headspace where I was ready to change anything or learn anything. So I am now, and I'm really, really excited to keep working with my therapist. I've been seeing her for about a month now. I really like her. And she's already been such a huge help in just reframing how I think about a lot of things and having an outlet, someone outside of my life to talk to about different things going on in my life. I really like her, so I am really excited to continue working with her, and we have some goals that we're working toward. And the other thing is that she has suggested that I bring a nutritionist onto my care team to deal with some of my issues with eating. I've had an eating disorder since I was very young, so that's something that I finally want to truly address and like recover from. Finally, it's kind of scary to say, but excuse me, what are you doing? Coral's making her cameo. She's in every video. So yeah, I'm really excited to work with a nutritionist and keep working with my therapist and make an actual change in my daily habits and my mental health. Finally this year. I'll be 25 this year, and I feel like 25 is a good time to get my life together. As good a time as any, right? The next thing on my list, kind of related to what I was just saying about mental health, is physical health. So part of what I'm working with my therapist on is regulating my eating, regulating my sleep schedule. Hi, Coral. I'm really trying to regulate my eating schedule, my sleep schedule, my exercise schedule. Like, all these things have been totally out of whack. A lot because of 2020. I think everyone's sort of feeling that way, but I really want to work on finally having schedules and things in order and just making that part of my life a lot less chaotic. So that's something I'm also really looking forward to working on, and that's a goal for me, is to regulate my food and my sleep by the end of the year. Hopefully I can do it earlier than 1 year, but that's sort of the timeline I'm thinking of on, is if I can accomplish this by the end of the year, that'll be a huge, huge, huge goal that I'm hitting. My next category is my relationship with Sean. So he and I have had a very difficult year. I think a lot of couples have. We're spending a lot more time together. We're trapped in the house together. And that has been tough for our relationship. We've fought a lot more this year than in the past. We're forced to confront a lot of issues. We're also hitting that point in our relationship where we've been together for a long time. And if we want to stay together, we need to confront some of these problems that, have recurringly come up between us. So we've spent a lot of time talking together about how we want to deal with that. And I'm also talking to my therapist about how I can deal with my things on my own instead of bringing all of that to him. And so far, I'm happy with how it's going. I love him very much, and I feel really confident in our relationship. So I'm looking forward to strengthening that in the new year. I just have a feeling that this new year is going to be the best year of our relationship, because I think that we're past the honeymoon phase and we've identified a lot of the problems in our relationship. And I think this is the year that we're going to really confront those and learn how to work better together as a team. And I really hope that we're both able to commit to that and work on that, because I'm excited to do my part of that. So the rest is up to him. The last big category for my goals this year is the financial category. So this is a big goal, but I really, really, really want to pay off my student debt this year. I think I looked at the numbers, I broke it down. I think it will be possible for me to do it. I have about $12,000 left to pay off. So it's a big number, but compared to a lot of other people's debt, it's not that big of a number. I think when I first graduated college, my debt was over $20,000. I've made a lot of headway in paying that off, and I really want to just get that paid off and finished this year. And so Sean and I have been talking about changes we can make to our lifestyle and places we can cut back and how we can budget differently to hit that goal. And that, honestly, above everything else, that will be one of the biggest accomplishments of the year if I can pay off my debt, because I feel like it's holding me back from so many other things in my life. And I just want to get rid of that burden and move on with my life, move on with my financial goals. Be able to pursue other things, start investing, start donating a lot more money to causes that I believe in, and just like free myself of that burden, especially because Sean is going to start law school this coming year. So he's going to take on a lot of debt from that. So I just want to be out of debt as soon as possible and move on with my life. So those are all my big goals for this coming year. I do have a couple of goals that are sort of tentative. Like, it depends on a lot of things whether this will happen. So it could happen this year, it could be a longer term goal. But those two big things are, number one, I really want to foster kittens. So I'm thinking that when we move, we're probably moving in March or April. When we move, I really want to create a space in our home where we can foster kittens, and I want to create a relationship or partnership with a shelter in my area that facilitates fostering so that we can start doing that. That's something I'm really, really passionate about. The cats that we have now are my first pets ever in life. So I didn't have a pet until I was in my 20s, and they are such a blessing to my life, and I wish I had had them growing up. And I just feel this huge sense of responsibility to protect animals and help animals connect with people that will love them the way that I love my cats, which sounds really sappy, but that's something that I think is really special and something I would really like to be a part of. And then the other thing is I really want to become a member of CASA. So CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and they are people who are trained to work with children in the court system. So kids that are going through abuse, kids that are going through foster care and separation from their families or a bad family situation. And basically you are just there for them. You work with them, you come to court with them, you make them feel comfortable, you keep an eye on their well-being, and you make recommendations to the court, the best situation going forward for that child. So you are working with the kid, you're working with their parents, you're working with their foster family, and just trying to make recommendations for that child to have the best outcome possible through a very difficult situation. This is something I've been interested in doing for a long time, but I've never lived in a place long enough where I could commit to doing it, because I think you need to commit at like a year or 18 months of service with CASA when you start. So when we move for law school for Sean, we'll be in our new town for at least 3 years while he's in school. So I think that is going to be a great time to join CASA, become trained, and start working with children who are the most in need of these services. So I'm really excited for that. And that's something that I would like to do this year, but depending on where we move and what the programs are like in the new city and blah, blah, like we'll see if that's possible. But whether I do it this year or later in life, that's something I definitely want to be part of, because I think that work is so exciting and so important for those kids. So yes, those are all of my goals for this year and a little bit beyond. Thank you guys so much for watching.